Hi there everybody. My name's Sarah Raad and I'm not an artist, I am a life coach and my specialist subject is gratitude. And today I am going to combine gratitude and creativity for you, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about gratitude and why it's so important. And I'm also going to show you a couple of creative and craft ideas that you can use to develop your sense of gratitude. So, if I was to say to you that I could teach you something that in probably 5 or 10 minutes a day could significantly improve your happiness and your health and your well-being, would you be interested in finding out about it? Well, hopefully you would. And the thing that I can teach you that will achieve all of that for you is developing a gratitude habit. Now, in its simplest sense, gratitude is just being mindfully grateful for the things that you have and for the things that happen to you in any particular day. It really is as simple as that. But for something that's very simple, it can have a really powerful effect. There have been quite a lot of studies done, predominantly in America by major universities like Berkeley and Harvard, into positive psychology and into gratitude in particular. And what some of these studies have found is that gratitude can really help people to feel more positive. So it can really raise your happiness levels. So taking time to feel grateful every day can make you feel happier. It can also have a good effect on anxiety and depression, and studies have shown that it can lessen those feelings in people. And also it can have a really good effect on your health. So there was a study that showed that it could help your heart health and your blood pressure. And there was another study which was done with some law students in America which showed that being grateful could boost your immune system. So with all of that in mind, all of that happiness and health that we could, improvements that we could get in our lives, why wouldn't we all try to take a little bit of time every day to feel grateful? There are various ways of doing it, but today I just want to show you 2 things that you could do at home, either on your own or as a family, which would give you a focus for your gratitude and would act as a visual representation and a visual reminder for you to feel grateful every day. The first one I'm going to show you is one that you may have come across before because it's quite a popular thing, which is to create a gratitude jar. Now I'm going to show you one that I made earlier, as they say, on Blue Peter, because I'm not an artist, as I say, so I don't need to guide you through this. It's quite simple. What you can see here and what you'll be able to download on my website is a little tag that you can put on your jar that says gratitude with a nice little leaf pattern. There's a link underneath this video, wherever you're seeing it, that will take you to this secret page on my website that will have some free downloads for you to be able to do the things that I'm showing you today. So there'll be some simple instructions and some templates, and this template is one of them. Okay, so what you need to do is get yourself a nice big jar. You could even get a bigger one than this, and print off this label or do your own label, and it's a great thing to do as a child or with children. Get your brightest colourful pens and pencils and whatnot and make yourself a nice label and tie it on at the top. And then you're simply taking little slips of paper and writing down what you're grateful for and popping them in the jar. So have some slips of paper next to your jar wherever you decide to put that. You could put it on your mantelpiece or on your sideboard or in the hall as people come into the house, with some little slips of paper and pencils. And then whenever somebody feels grateful, or as they pass the jar they decide to feel grateful for something, they can quickly write something down and pop it in. And once you get your jar full, you could decide to empty them out and read them. And if you're having a particularly low day and you're not feeling very happy, you could tip them out and read them as a way of cheering yourself up. But if you do this as a family, it's a really nice thing to do. Maybe around special meal times, you could choose to go through the things and somebody could read them out, or you could take it in turns to read them out. And you could actually do the gratitudes as a family as well. So maybe you could all think of one at dinner time or lunchtime and you could all pop one in the jar. So that's the first thing. And as I say, there's a download and some instructions on the page. The second one, which you can see here, is the gratitude tree. Now, you don't have to have one of these trees. As you can see, I've got this kind of ready-made tree which I bought for an event a couple of years ago. They were quite popular at the time, so you might even have one. But if you don't, it's not a problem, because what actually looks even better is if you go out into the countryside, go out into the woods or the parks, wherever you are, and just gather yourself some twigs and branches. Quite often you'll find things that have come down in the wind, so you're not having to damage a tree to get these things. Maybe you've got things in your garden that need pruning at the moment. You could use anything you like and just pop all of those into a vase or a big jar, and you've got your own tree. You might have to tie your labels on a little bit tighter if you don't have lots of little branchy bits, but that's not a problem, and it will still look just as good, and to be honest, it might even look better. So again, there's a template for this on the website, but what you do with this is you make a load of these leaves. Now, I'm just going to pull one off so I can show you. But if you cut lots of leaves out, and again, you could have these lying down, I don't know if you can read that, by your tree, and you put them all on threads. I'm an embroidery person, so I quite often have a lot of different colours of threads, but you can use anything for this. You could use just the kind of thread that you use to sew a button on. You could use some string. If you've still got all of your bits and pieces of Christmas ribbons and raffia and all that kind of thing, you could use that, because again, you can't see brilliantly in here because of the light, but they're all on kind of, I've chosen 3 or 4 different colours for my strings, and it kind of looks quite pretty when you start to build them up. And obviously you can choose coloured pencils as well, and pens to write your things on. So it's the same thing as the jar. Just as things occur to you, things happen, things that you feel grateful for, you write them down. So this one says, a delicious meal cooked for me. So that was recently when my husband cooked dinner, and that was lovely for me because I usually make the meals in our house. So that was something I felt grateful for. But other things, I've got running water, tea. You know, these are quite simple things really. Netflix and Spotify. I think we're all feeling quite grateful for Netflix and Spotify at the moment. Having a warm and cozy home. So things to be grateful for don't have to be really big things. You don't have to wait for something amazing to happen in your life to feel really grateful that you've passed an exam or you've got a new job or any of that things. You can be grateful for a hot cup of tea. You can be grateful for the way that the snow looks on branches. You can be grateful for a hug. You can be grateful for really, really simple things. And it's all this feeling that builds up inside you when you connect with that gratitude that has all the positive health effects. So as you're writing down things like I wrote down about my husband cooking me a meal, it's like really connecting with that feeling of how lovely that was, and that gratitude is what will power up your mind and your body to work together and to help you feel more positive, less anxious, which we could all do with at the moment, and will also have really good effects on your health as well. So that's it from me really. We've got the gratitude tree. Don't forget about the gratitude jar as well. I mean, you could do both, or you could choose one or the other. It's up to you. But I'd really encourage you to do this, because you can have a really nice sort of creative, mindful time putting your jar and your tree together. And then every day when you're writing your slips or you're writing your leaves, it's a really lovely thing to do creatively as well. And as I say, just to really connect with that feeling of gratitude. So I'm grateful that you took the time to listen to me today. Do visit the secret page on my website that you can get the 2 downloads for the 2 different projects, which will give you the templates and some simple instructions. And if you'd like to learn more about gratitude, I do have a course starting next month. So while you're on my website, if you like, you could sign up to the mailing list. You don't have to sign up to anything to get the templates. They're just there now for you, free to download and use. Thanks very much and take care.